Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Jacob. I'm the host of the Hostile Jakeover podcast. I'm just going live today. I wanted to test out a few things, so just bear with me on this. It's my first time with this setup. I've done some streaming before, but everything always changes when you add in new scenes and everything. So, yeah, I just wanted to come on, chat. There's some things I wanted to chat about, some upcoming things. I can chat about the guests that are coming up and just go over some things. So I wanted to start with the guests. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of episodes this week. So if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. And if you have any questions for any of the guests, just shoot me a message in there or comment on one of the posts, and we'll get your answers all answered for you. So yeah, coming up, we got Guillermo Sabast, who's a producer engineer. He's worked with the Sadies. He's in a band called the Honey Runners. Can't wait to talk to him. And then, what's going on here? See, this is why I got to test all this stuff out because I can't go to the next one. Give me 1 second here. Oh, not that one. Not that one. There's a little stat bar that goes. Now, why can't I find it? Oh, there we go. That's how we do it. All right, so the next one we got Eamon McGrath. Eamon is a musician from Toronto. He's also written a couple books. He's a fantastic musician. If he's playing in your area, go see him. He's toured all over the world, and he has a catalog of songs that is just massive for someone his age. I think it's somewhere up over like 300 songs he has written and recorded. It's just really nuts. So I'm chatting with him this week as well. I'm doing a bunch of episodes this week just to get a bunch recorded so I can start doing like one a week and then just working on the editing and everything. So yeah, I'll do a bunch this week and then get to once a week. Hey, Nate, what's up, man? Thanks for joining in. I'm just going over my guests for the upcoming podcasts. I'm doing a bunch of recording this week to get a bunch in the bank. And then next up, we got Alyssa Moon, who's a audio engineer and teacher at the Harris, I believe the Harris Institute for the Arts. They're teaching audio engineering to the new up and coming techs. So super excited to chat with Alyssa. And then we got Eric Bartz. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to chat with him and figure out how to pronounce that. Eric is a self-proclaimed semi-retired lighting director and a full-time bass player at Sketchy Clown Studios. Eric is touring LD for the Canadian band 5440. He's been with them for a long time. Super awesome guy. He's also very involved in training with a company called Snaphook, and they do all sorts of crew staffing and technical staffing for all sorts of shows. So Eric has been running training programs for all of the newcomers and even some veterans who want to learn some new skills. Really awesome guy. He's a wealth of knowledge with when it comes to all things tech, and yeah, he plays in a pretty awesome rock and roll band too. I see their videos on YouTube all the time. And then we got a dear friend of mine, Freeman Dre, from Parkdale, Toronto. Dre is just a super prolific songwriter. He's also published a poetry book and does all sorts of visual art, and he's also a voice actor. Um, I've been a huge fan of Dre's for a really long time. I used to go see him at the Cameron House in Toronto, and I've seen him at he hosts some house concerts at his apartment. He calls it the Sunset Series. It's great. You just go down to Parkdale, sit up on a roof, and listen to some fabulous music. It's really cool. And yeah, he's done a lot of touring worldwide, and just a great performer. Like whether it's him just solo with an acoustic guitar, or when he's got his full band with, he some of his instrumentation is like accordions and um, fiddles and all sorts of stuff. And it's like, you know, beer drinking, party music, and then he's got some nice laid back solo stuff. Everything he does is just fantastic. Can't say enough good things about him. And then we got Gord Pryor, who I am very excited about. Gord is a musician first, and then he's done a lot of things actually. But currently, he's in a new company called Sing Market, and Sing Market is a new kind of distribution company for artists, really heavy into Web3 and using NFTs for artists to promote their works. So that's really exciting stuff. A lot of people say NFTs are the future of music, other people not so much. But either way, it is some cool stuff and a new way for artists to get their stuff out there to people. Hey, Michael Barber, thanks for joining us. So those are the guests I have coming up this week, and I'll be rolling out new episodes once a week. I'm not too sure what date I'm going to publish them yet. Probably Thursday or Friday later in the week. And so yeah, expect one once a week starting next week after I get all these ones done. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to hop on and kind of have a open discussion about music. Chat with people. I know Nate, who's joined us, is a veteran audio engineer. He has a lot of knowledge when it comes to audio, and he does live streaming, and he does a lot of tech work for school board right now, and we work together at um, some pretty high end venues back in the day, and uh, just wanted to chat. Where we've been in the industry, where the industry is going. There's a lot of pardon me, things to talk about because the music industry is always evolving. And if you're not keeping up with trends and you're not on the forefront, you're not going to go very far, whether you're an artist or a technician or a promoter or agent or manager. You just really have to keep up with everything. So, yeah, I've just been kind of poking around on YouTube. I guess like the biggest discussion these days that I see on the news, anyways, that people are really chatting about is Ticketmaster, and I saw some like really funny shit. I'm just gonna pull it up here. Luke Bryan, he's a country singer. I'm not too familiar with his work, but when I saw this article, it just made me really laugh. Let's see if we can pull this up here. Oh, give me a quick second here. Here we go. So yeah, so the title is Zach Bryant really hates Ticketmaster and he's doing something about it. Now, for the same reasons, it goes on to say like why he hates Ticketmaster and all that stuff, and the Pearl Jam, 30 years ago was saying this kind of stuff, and it's only gotten worse since then, in my opinion. But he came out with an album, and it's a live album. He recorded it at Red Rocks in Colorado, and it says the name of the album is "All My Homies Hate Ticketmaster." I just think that's really really funny. But you know, beyond like the meme of it and the jokes, he kind of had some heartfelt things to say about it. So I'm just going to read this official statement he made from his Instagram. Um, it says, "It seems there's a massive issue with fair ticket prices to live shows lately. I have met with kids at my shows who have paid upwards of $400 to be there, and I'm done with it. I've decided to play a limited number of headline shows next year, to which I've done all I can to make prices as cheap as possible, and to prove people tickets don't have to cost $450 to see a good and honest show. To clarify, I'm playing a few festivals which I have no control over. I believe working class people should still be able to afford tickets to shows, so please sign up for the Laylo link in my bio and be the first to know about our tour dates, registration, and the online sale of tickets. I'll also be sending merch drops on release," and it just goes on and on to say. And then it says, "I'm tired of people saying things can't be done about this massive issue while huge monopolies sit there stealing money from working class people. Also, to any songwriter trying to make relatable music for the working class man or woman should pride themselves on fighting for the people who listen to the words they're singing." I thought that was a really, really great statement. You know, we can open that up a little bit. You know, I think that I don't think that Live Nation Ticketmaster is everything to do with this. You know, there's also, consumer problems and things like that. But those consumer problems, I think, still stem from, being forced fed certain media and everything. But I just think it was really nice that he said he's saying things like, um, where what does it say? What was the quote when he said, relatable music for the working class man or woman should pride themselves on fighting for the people who listen to the words they're singing. And that just cut pretty deep for me, because a lot of music is about, working class common man. That's why the music's so relatable, because the the common people relate to the words they're singing. So when you hear, a massive corporate artist, singing about their 9 to 5, you know it's bullshit. But but then you have, these corporate artists who, did come from very humble beginnings, and even with success are still very humble and conscious when it comes to um, capitalism, and how they're dealing with you know being a um, what's a good word, like an equitable and fair trade while you're in an industry that's known for price inflation. So I just really thought that what Luke Bryant was saying was, you know pretty interesting. And to me it seems like he's being quite honest about it and open about it. And he kind of sees things from like a little bit of a deeper understanding of it. So but yeah, but like I said before, Ticketmaster and Live Nation are not really. Sorry, Nate just said, Neil Sedaka said it best with "boop de doo shoo up." He sure did, man. That really hit my heart when he said that. I think there was some more scatting after that, but that was a deep, deep hit. So yeah, like I said, like the consumers also like play a role in it. Like there's an analogy that like a lot of salespeople talk about, like the chocolate bar analogy, where you can sell a chocolate bar for $1, but people with more income, more money, more disposable income aren't going to buy that chocolate bar for $1 if there's a chocolate bar that costs $5, because they want to show their wealth. There's a whole myriad of reasons why somebody with more money would choose something that's more expensive. Um, but so like the consumer does play a role in that, because people want to show, hey, look, I got these like bottle service seats for this Drake show at his new club. And you know the lousy artists who are controlling how many people don't buy tickets with poor performances. Um, can you, sorry, Nate, can you expand on that a bit? I don't really understand. Um, oh, how much control does the artist have on ticket prices, etc.? That's a good question. The artist or artist management typically sets the price for their concert. The artist is the one who knows what their show is going to cost them and what they do. So the artist definitely has a role in this as well. Um, so you know, uh, who I can't remember the name of the band. It was a punk rock band. It was the Offspring, maybe. I can't. Don't quote me on what the band was, but this was like back in like the like late '90s, early 2000s, and they were trying to do $20 tickets for everything. Nate says this is Blink 182, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, and they were doing it, and they went on tour and they sold $20 tickets, and they hopefully had a successful tour. But yeah, the artist sets the price, but right now, most tickets, especially for like large events, at stadiums and arenas, um, most of them go to resellers. Now I can pull up a little bit of information on resellers here just to show everybody how big of a role that takes. I think there was a yeah, this was the article in Forbes that I was reading. I'll share my browser here. So yeah, it says right here. Where was it? So yeah, so I'm trying to look for the information within the article, but it says here battle for 15.19 billion secondary market heats up. So this I think it was 2021 or 2022. I can't remember, but this is going to be going up um, in 2023. They've been saying, but I think it's about um, 1/8 or one quarter of the entire ticket selling market. Um, so when once the ticket goes on sale, so like the artist and um, or artist management and the promoter set the ticket price, these tickets go on sale to Live Nation or on Ticketmaster, say. Um, but what happens is like all sorts of things like with these ticket bots and everything. They kind of re-engineer Ticketmaster's website and they just buy up a whole bunch of tickets really quick. Oh, Brandon Hickman. Oh my God, man. Thanks for coming to join us, man. I really appreciate that. I met Brandon, oh God, a long time, no, like last year, down in the U.S. when I was with Immersive Van Gogh. He was one of the IATSE members in Charlotte. It's great to see you. Garth Brooks. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there were a bunch of articles about Garth Brooks. Now Garth Brooks is also like an anomaly because he has he has like this weird built-in following that and the people are just so loyal to him. It's crazy. I was watching this one podcast that I watched. They cover Garth Brooks a lot. It's in like they kind of make fun of him, but it's pretty impressive to see what he does. This like he's selling at big stadiums everywhere. It's rather impressive. But like I was saying, so Ticketmaster, just tickets go on sale on Ticketmaster. These bot programs buy up a lot of the tickets, and then the resale market is like something like an eighth or a quarter of all of the online ticket selling market. And there was some quotes in here There was something about Bruce Springsteen. Um, so yeah, when Bruce Springsteen did his Broadway show, the average ticket price on the second this is on the average ticket price on the secondary market was $2,280, which is just absolutely insane. Like the average person can't afford an average ticket price of $2,280. But but people are buying them, right? So that's like you got to think about supply and demand and everything. But there's just more honest ways to go about charging more. And there's also things I've read articles about artists who um, purchase tickets from Ticketmaster and resell them on the resale market. So these artists are like artificially inflating their ticket prices so they can, kind of hide behind the secondary market. Now, how big that part of the market is, I don't know. I've only read some articles about it. Brandon Hickman saying, believe Ticketmaster is in a lawsuit because of the bots, accused of using bots and their own scalpers just to get fees multiple times. No doubt. Uh, I'm not too sure. I could try to research that for next time, but I'm not too sure the lawsuits that they're involved in right now. But when you know AOC is making public statements about you, I'm sure you're going to be sitting on some kind of tribunal at some point. Um, but yeah, it's hard to say who's running the bots. It's hard to say who's selling the tickets, but it's definitely a very very large part of the market. Um, so yeah, and then so another thing I wanted to talk about was let's just see if I can find this. There's this new. I've seen a few of them. This is I'm not going to even say the name. If you see it, you see it. But I don't want to bad talk any smaller companies. But I've seen a few of these companies kind of set up, and what they are is they're like a smaller ticketing agency, and these people are catering to indie bands, and there's a lot of reasons why I kind of find this a little bit sketchy. But if you look here, this company does a 10% fee on everything, which is really huge for ticket selling. To charge 10% is well above your like ticket processing fee. But when you look down in the fine print somewhere, where does it say? Yeah, right here. So Side Door's taking the 10%, and they're also taking a $2 processing fee on top of that. Um, so like they're not even paying the processing fee for on as part of their fee. That's just an extra fee that goes to the consumer. Now, why I find this style of ticket selling a little bit predatory is because they're promoting themselves to indie artists, and when you're an indie artist, you're lucky. You're lucky if you're making over $1,000 a show. Some of these bands are making less than that. They're making like 500. So to pay 10% on something like that is just a lot of money. And if you add that up over a whole tour, it's quite a lot for these emerging artists that um, can't really fund their own tours. They're losing money. With inflation the way things are, you can't even rent a van to go. Like that would be the whole tour budget just for renting a van. We have the same last name, George. Oh, and Brandon Ross is here too. Hey, Brandon, what's up, man? Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat and read from the browser. Doing my best here. So Michael Barber says, "Remember SARS stock, ACDC, Stones in Toronto. Think we should have a COVID stock fest." Yeah, I'm really surprised somebody didn't try to market something like that. COVID being how large it was, like I find it really hard to believe that something like that wasn't marketed. I do remember SARS stock. I didn't go to it, um, but you know, that was a huge, huge outdoor festival. So yeah, so like I was saying, you know these indie bands can't afford a 10% fee. You two and Bearcat best. Oh God. All right. So that's I'm guessing that's John using an alias. Was I was it John who gave me that nickname? They call me Bearcat because this one time um, I had this ongoing kind of feud with a friend, and he likes uh, what's his name, Bearcat. Who sings Bearcat? Someone help me out here. David Wilcox. And I'm not really a huge fan. I grew up in a small town, so I heard David Wilcox every single day on the radio growing up because all I had was a couple local radio stations back in the day. You didn't get like cool music stations from Toronto, and even online stuff wasn't a thing back then. So uh, we were once again having this conversation that we've had a million times before while we were driving in my car, and he's like, why don't you like him? And I said, this is fucking why. And I threw on my local radio station that I grew up listening to, and sure as shit, Bearcat was playing. And like we had to pull the car over because we were laughing so hard. So that I've been Bearcat ever since, and I've come to accept it, but it took me a long time to get there. Rock 95 says Rock 95 every 3 seconds. The actually, Rock 95 was the main sponsor of the wrestling event I went to yesterday, and they sponsored the Royal Rumble, not the Royal Rumble, sorry, that's WWE, but it was the Rock 95 Rumble, so it was like an over the top ropes thing, and they had like one of the DJs came in and wrestled. It was pretty hilarious. So that's about all I wanted to chat about. I got to keep it kind of short tonight, but I was just coming on to kind of see, if all my scenes worked and everything. And I'm starting to record this week. So I think I will be back on live streaming though. I'll let everybody know when I'm going to come on. I got a lot more to talk about, and I want to kind of do some more focused things. But I just kind of wanted to have like a general kind of discussion today. Before I go, though, let me just read through the chat here, see if I missed anything. My volume's low compared to other channels. Yeah, maybe you can give me a hand with that. I've worked on it a little bit, and I got it a bit better to where it was last night. Um, I'm not sure where it's coming from. It's if it's coming pre or post my uh, Personas box. Um, but yeah, I know. I think we have like the exact same audio gear, so yeah, you could for sure help me out. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in, and please stay tuned. And if you have any questions for any of the guests that I have coming up this week, just hit me up on any of my socials, and I'll get ask those questions in the um, question and answer session. So yeah, thank you everybody so much. Can't wait to share more and start having some conversations with some guests.